Never been average, tailor-made from a different fabric. Biographic, on tape, mine cinematic. Lost my prodigy, I'm feeling havoc. AI intelligence, screw the practice. Couple messages up in the madness. Few days since I seen a mattress on the field.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I go by the name of Caesar, aka Mr. Sneaker Route, and get tuned in to yet another installment of Sneaker Route. A ton of people ask me how exactly I got into all of this. I can't even define what Sneaker Route is, but let me do my absolute best to answer a couple questions that have been sent to me either via DM or directly in conversation. Without any further ado, man, let's get to it. And before all of that, man, like, part of my manners, how are you guys doing today? Like, how's everything going? You know? Talk to me. It's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street, so talk to me. I want to know what's going on with you too. Alright? Let's get to it. Now the first question is, what is the first sneaker I remember having? Now the very first sneaker I remember having was a sneaker called the North Star. Now, a lot of you guys might not be familiar with the North Star, but let me tell you, in Southern Africa and Africa as a whole, North Star was pretty much a staple, man. You know, you have Adidas, you have Reebok and all that, you have the Nikes, but North Star was the staple, alright? For us younger guys, when we were younger, North Star was like, you know, for the youth, right? And Adidas and the Sambas and the Shell Toes were all for the OGs who were moving and shaking and getting things done, if you get what I'm saying. Now, I just mentioned the North Stars, right? Okay, so North Stars could only be obtained from Bata Shoe Sports, right? Now, Bata Shoe Sports was like the #1 spot back home. It was like the Foot Locker of our times, right? Now, Bata still exists to this day, but I don't really see any, you know, brick and mortars, right? But in South Africa, Southern Africa and Africa as a whole, I'm pretty sure Bata is still holding strong. But that was our spot, man. That was our version of Foot Locker, and that's where we get the North Stars and the other sneakers that we were into. But North Star is just the #1 sneaker that like stands out in my mind because that was the sneaker at the time. Believe me when I say it. You were the man when you had those on and you hit a Bata Shoe Sports, man. And if I'm not mistaken, in Toronto somewhere, there is a shoe museum, a Bata shoe museum, if I'm not mistaken. And I think there are a couple all over the world too. Where did my passion for sneakers and apparel start from? Honestly, I think it came from lack, right? A lot of us, we see other people and other people who are in better positions having these things. And at one point in your life or at some point in your life, you're hoping to acquire these things, right? So it's not exactly being envious, but it's more, in a way, coveting what you're seeing. Whether it's a bomber jacket, cross colors, whatever it was at the time. You know, that's what inspired us, especially the older guys, right? The older guys were the ones with the fly gear, with the LA gears and all of that, man, the 5911s and, you know, 5911 size 7 and curls. Like, you heard DMX when he said that, right? Yeah, that type of vibe. So that's what we're into, man. And yeah, that's what got me into sneakers, just the design, the color, just overall getting to try on your first, like, you know, it sneaker and feeling that vibe, man, wanting to be like Jordan, wanting to feel like Will Smith, you know, that type of vibe. That's what we came up on. How did Sneaker Route start? Sneaker Route actually started as a song, right? I had a joint, You Ain't Live What You Speak About. You hear that? Yeah, you probably take the Sneaker Route, right? And this was a while ago. I'm talking about a very long time ago. Randomly one day I was sitting down and I was like, man, I have to do something with my life that will have me excited all the time and it'll have me passionate, something that will give me the drive I need to just, you know, get up and feel like, you know what, I'm doing something that's impactful, right? And I was like, okay, but what am I passionate about? And it's sneakers, clothing, apparel, vinyl, art, music. And then I thought to myself, okay, but what would you call it? Like, what would you label it as? What embodies you as a person? So for some reason, I just thought of Sneaker Route. That it just came up in my mind. Because sneakers carry you wherever you go. Sneakers have a crazy story. Imagine if your sneakers could talk, man. There's a ton of stories that they would tell. So Sneaker Route is the name that I came up with because it came from a song and it just felt natural. And Sneaker Route it is, man. And we're running to it. You ain't live what you speak about. You hear that? Yeah, you probably did the Sneaker Route. You hear that? Yeah, you already know, man. Now, in closing, for this segment, and this Q&A will be ongoing, so don't you worry. You guys send in all the questions that you have, and I'll be more than willing to answer them, all right? Now, the main question is, where do I see Sneaker Route going? In one word, worldwide, all right? My whole aim is to network and touch everybody in the world because we all wear sneakers, right? You might not be able to relate to me by maybe culture-wise. You might not be able to relate to me language-wise. We might have a language barrier. But the one thing that always connects me with people all over the world, whenever I meet people from Japan, Sweden, you name it, is sneakers, right? We might not speak the same language, but when it comes to apparel and just drip, like, we speak the same language. All right. So I just thought, you know what? My aim is to touch the whole world and just travel the whole world, man, just based on my passion for sneakers. And hopefully you guys out there will see that I'm dedicated to this and I mean this, and this is coming from a sincere place. And hopefully you guys can help me as tribe members achieve the goal, and in turn, whatever I achieve, I'll bring back to the tribe, and we all help each other. Because I'm a firm believer in, if you guys get me to a destination, right, or when you guys get me to the destination, I'm not just leaving you guys behind. Nobody gets left behind. Always remember that. Everybody goes, man. Nobody gets left off of the ship, the airplane, whatever, the spaceship. Everybody gets to go. Walk tall, think rich, don't buy a head, and that's in the face of God. Because if you do, you'll drop your crown, and you do not want to do that, because you're kings and queens. I go by the name of Caesar, aka Mr. Sneaker Route, and you were tuned in to yet another installment of Sneaker Route. Now, one important thing that I have for you guys today is, don't chase the number, chase the dream, all right? Say that to yourself over and over and over and over. Don't chase the number, chase the dream. If you don't understand it, look at it and try to interpret it as best as you can, and the answer will come to you, all right?
Never been average, tailor-made from a different fabric. Biographic, on tape, mine cinematic. Lost my prodigy, I'm feeling havoc. AI intelligence, screw the practice. Couple messages up in the madness. Few days since I seen the mattress on the field.